And welcome to welcome to this week's episode of Esports Wrap. I'm your host, Michael Amargan, and this week we're going to be talking about an interesting game. It's called Fortnite, and Fortnite, you've probably heard about it. If you haven't, well, that's probably the reason why you're here. And if you have heard about it, then, well, you might want to find out a little bit more about it, and that's probably why you're here. So, let's actually start off with, what is Fortnite? Well, Fortnite is a first-person shooter game. Well, no, that doesn't quite capture it all that well, because you can play in third person too. Easiest way to put it, it's a multiplayer online shooting game where the aim is either the storyline or the battle royale. And so yeah, there's actually something like that. There's two modes inside of it, and so you've got the story mode or arcade mode, and you've got the battle royale, and they're actually very different. I mean, they work along the same principles and everything like that, but one is player versus element and monsters and stuff like that, while the other is player versus player. One is paid, one is completely free. Yeah. So, the game actually started, when was it? Back in... Ooh. That's my information. Okay. The game started as a paid early access. Back in July 25th of 2017. And I mean, you can currently download the Battle Royale version of it for free on PlayStation, Xbox, or Windows PC. And I think there's a Mac version of it as well. So if you have on a Mac, well, feel free to join in. There is and is not cross-playing compatibility. So here's the fun thing. They've had 3 separate instances, one happening just very, very recently, where they've enabled cross-compatibility between Windows, Mac, Xbox, and PS4, if I remember correctly. And the situation with that... Sorry, it's PS4, Xbox, and PC, not Mac. At least according to several articles I've read. If it did include Mac, well, I apologize, and let me know in the comments or in the live chat. Now, move that over there. Here's the thing. We have Sony being a bit of a butt about this because they don't want cross-platform games. Microsoft's all for it with their Xbox platform. Of course they're for it with Windows, because, well, it's Windows, for starters, home of multiplayer online games, and, well, there's Xbox right there, made by the same company, so it's kind of like, well. Now, while they've enabled this, and it's almost getting to the point where it kind of feels like they're doing this almost slightly intentionally to put pressure on Sony, you can, if you do a certain particular way, play with your PS4 friends on your PC. Also, if you buy the game on your computer, then you can also log in on your computer, make sure that you've purchased whatever you wanted to purchase, log in on your PS4 with the same information, and play the game just like that. Like, you would have access to whatever paid content you had on the computer. That's kind of a hint as to certain things about playing with your friends on a PC versus PS4. I'm not sure I should actually be telling people that. But, so let's get into the whole, what the two modes are. And there are going to be more modes coming up, like limited modes, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Let's actually talk about the, well, story mode. Here's a quick video.
Peggy 12.
All right, people. Let's search this dump and get out of here ASAP.
Dump? What's wrong with the dirt burger?
Yeah, it's got everything. Garbage, rats, severe structural damage.
Some people just can't appreciate fine dining. Did you hear that? You got nothing to worry about. Trust me. I've got the heightened senses of a ninja.
Oh! I am so sorry.
Hey, it's okay. We're gonna get you out of here.
Oh, thank you. We thought you were more of those things. Monsters are coming.
Looks like we're staying put.
Right.
All right, you two stick with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's get to work. Okay, let's head to the roof for evac.
Aside from the part where we almost died, that was amazing.
Hey, don't mention it. It's all in a night's work. All right, guys, who's up for pizza?
Oh yeah, pizza!
Pre-order now?
Okay, so essentially that is the story mode of it. There were some inaccuracies inside their video though. For starters, well, you can't throw your companions or throw weapons. Also, when the guy's pistol got knocked out of his hands by the spinning hammer, yeah, that doesn't happen either. You do get to partner up with 4 friends, and actually, yeah, I believe it's 4 friends. You can play the map together. You can work on quests to build up stuff, save people, much like inside that video. You do fight monsters. Most of them are skeletal zombie type monsters, though you do have some mini bosses that will show up and try to wreck your base or wreck your face. Either one works. Now, here's the thing. It's kind of a dystopia type world. You know, the zombie apocalypse happened. Everyone's trying to find cover, and you know, you're out there trying to save people at the same time. You've got some interesting robot companions that are helping you out along the way, along with some interesting human characters. I mean that, like, personality wise. But yeah, it's a really good game. The weapons that you can use are interesting. Overall, the concept, and you can kind of find this across both sides, it's a fun, down-to-earth shooting game that's kind of like a mix between PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds and Rust, where essentially you're killing people or things, and then you're also breaking down things like fences, trees, cars, so on and so forth, and building things from the parts that you get to then strengthen your base or whatever it is that you want to do. And it's got some interesting things. There are people that can die to traps. You can die from falling. You can die from shooting yourself with an explosion. Your friends can rat a rocket that you shot from your rocket launcher. It's got some really fun and quirky stuff inside of it, and the low polymer and like the cartoonish almost element to the way how the game actually looks and plays is probably one of the reasons why it's become one of the most popular shooters in the world. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I'm noticing I'm doing that a lot. But then that kind of leads us into the player versus player arena, which has actually beaten PUBG as the most played game at one time, which was, it beat out PUBG. PUBG had 3.2 million people playing it as their record, and Fortnite just recently beat that with 3.4 million. So about 200,000 more people. So that's actually really impressive that they've got it. And I mean, it might be because of all the memes happening or people sharing their wins of these insane things that have happened. But I mean, that's kind of how things get viral in the first place. So the fact that it's just helping out this game that's already a lot of fun, and you don't have to really worry about the stress levels from it, because it seems fun even though it can be kind of hard. I mean, I've played with a few friends. I don't know if they're watching, but it's Rinkoth and Drake, but along with Shady. But we've played it a number of times for quite a long time, especially during the show's downtime. And we made it to second place once. And that was a hard fight. And the guy that ended up beating us, well, he was good. I'll admit, he was good. So there is still a level of skill to it. You do have to make sure you get good weapons. It's very similar to PUBG. But most of all, it's fun. Let me show you a quick video about the actual Battle Royale.
4-day head start.
Yeah. Okay, so that kind of showed off some stuff. The landing part, it's very rare that you get a weapon that's you're able to kill someone off that quickly. But I mean, it does happen. It's not impossible. I'm pretty sure that was rigged a little bit, but what can you say? It's a promotional video. The game starts off very much like PUBG, where you start off inside something that's flying across a map. And, well, you pick and choose where you want to go. You try to aim for there. You probably, and this has happened quite a lot, you get swarmed by a lot of other players, and sometimes you have to deviate, or you go inside there full knowing that it's probably a suicide run. Sometimes you might actually end up alive. I think this actually happened twice in one of our runs. But most of the times we just swerve off and we try to stay alive until we can make it further on in. Sometimes it doesn't end up work so well for us and we end up rank 44. Sometimes we end up rank 5, 3, 2. So it all depends on, well, your understanding of the maps, the understanding of what all you can build, how to build, and typically how players play the maps that you're dealt. For example, let's say you're at Loot Lake. You probably don't want to stay in the water for too long because the water will slow you down, making you an easy target to be picked off from a distance. So that's not really a good thing. Of course, you can also walk into houses and get hit by traps, much like what was shown there, and we've done that once with it not working at all. No one walked into our house, so that was kind of a bummer. I would have actually liked to have seen that one. But they are working on making the game a bit more fun. For example, one of the weapons in the game, the SMG, they're actually taking that out, and some people are saying it's probably because it's very similar to the minigun they have inside there. But their explanation of it is that's only the first weapon that they're taking away, at least for a time. They want to add more weapons to the game, but they don't want to add in more and then make it so convoluted, or the item is so expanded that you get lost as to what you want to play. So what they're going to do is archive the weapon that they then don't want inside the game anymore, in this case the SMG. And so that means that you wouldn't be able to really craft it or anything like that, but they're saying that you can still find 2 of the versions of it. So I believe that's the rare and the, let me see really quick. You'll still be able to find the tactical SMGs and the suppressed SMGs. But the different rarities, no sir. And like I was talking about earlier, they are going to be having limited modes. Like there's going to be a blitz mode with had shorter matches. Meaning, you know, the more than likely the portal or the blue space, blue circle of where you're supposed to be in will get shorter and shorter over time, meaning that you're probably going to be running more so than you probably would or like to, which also means you're going to be facing a lot more people a lot sooner, which means you're not going to have enough time to craft and get weapons, and oh my gosh, that's going to be horrible. But in a good way and fun way, especially if you're spectating. Now, the next one is drop into the first circle. So I'm guessing that one is going to be where you drop into the circle and last man standing wins. They have generally less time between circles, team sizes in between 50 versus 50, and squads. And then they have 50 versus 50 version 2, which is closer to the 50 versus 50 trailer experience. You're split to start, converge while battling, bus for each team. You see all your squad mates on the map, and you get more supply drops. So those are essentially the big changes to the game that they're going to be doing. But there are also going to be smaller changes as well, or tweaks or optimizations as they want to call them, to social features and audio. Because, well, you want to make sure that you are sounding not muffled or anything like that. Because your teammates, if you have a microphone and you're set up right, then you can actually talk to your teammates, tell them, you know, I'm down, I'm hit. You don't need Discord or to be on Skype or anything else like that, or even, I mean, you can use the built-in console versions for party games as well, but I mean, when you're 50 versus 50 or you're a squad, and you have someone that's not in your party, then, you know, you might want to take that extra strip. Now, overall, I am really happy for this. And yes, there's one thing I forgot to mention. If you're on PS4 or Xbox or something like that, there is going to be a 60 frames per second version of the game coming out soon, which means you don't have to play in 30 frames per second. I know that's important for some of you, so look out for that as well. Overall though, is the game really worth it? I say yes. I actually had a lot of fun with it. I play on PC. I typically don't play on PS4. I do have it on my PS4, but I just like using the mouse controls. Though I still play with my friends on PS4 using my PC, using the same method I mentioned earlier. So if you want to do that, go right ahead. Now, other than that though, there is one other person that probably wants to give you an insight and say why those little videos that you're probably seeing popping around, or might have seen, I should say, people like going all crazy bananas over their win. If it's going to work. It's not going to work. Oh, there we go.
So a little while ago, we're playing a session of Fortnite.
We had one group building this very elaborate base.
We had finally tracked, mined, covered this one little area.
The monsters are coming out and they're wrecking the base, and it is touch and go.
We were picking them off. Our commandos were up on the ridge.
You've got the guys up throwing walls, keeping the fort built.
And pretty soon there's just players flying all over the place defending their base.
Everybody had the moment of being the hero, and we were all doing it being true to how we like to play the game.
That kind of moment, that moment that makes people cheer, even if they're not playing, is precisely what Fortnite is about.
Yeah, feel free to take a look into it. You might actually enjoy it. And that's Esports Wrap for this week. Don't forget our other show is on Thursday. That's Tech Talk. And we'll be back with Esports Wrap next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. Feel free to tune in. Until next time, I'm Michael. Take care.